Good morning. We are Mike, Beth, and Emily Bowns.
Yep.
And this past summer, we went on a multi-generational trip through YouthWorks to a Cheyenne Indian Reservation in South Dakota. Our family worked along with several other families to help paint houses, prepare a vacation Bible school and present it to the children, and also help prepare a community supper. The trip was a wonderful experience in many ways, and probably the biggest one was it was great serving Christ as a family, working together and helping others. It was also interesting learning about their culture. One evening while we were there, apparently vandals broke into their cultural center. And so the next morning, several of us from our group went and helped clean up. They had made a mess, total mess of the area in this beautiful cultural center. They had a gift shop with the glass cases with the items that they sold, and glass all over and just shattered. But anyway, we helped clean that up. And while we were there, I got to visiting with a gentleman who was actually an elder of the tribe, and he kind of told me a little bit about his history and a little bit about the history of the reservation and the Indians as a whole. And it just, for me, being a history buff, it was really interesting. Later in the week, there was an evening where we had a community supper. We had a cookout, and I got to visiting with a young mother, actually a mother of 3, and she had her little baby with her, and he was just cute as could be, just beautiful, happy child, and just that was another experience of just getting to visit with her and learn more about her. The final evening of our trip was a time of reflection, and during that time we kind of visited different stations in the church. One station we planted a seed, another one was actually where we washed each other's feet, and then the final one was they had us hammer nails into a cross. A very moving experience, but it's something that really I can't even begin to describe. It's kind of, I guess like the whole mission trip for me, it's something that you have to experience. You just can't describe it.
Well, I think we really enjoy going to South Dakota, and I really think the kids have learned about God a lot, and I think we did the right thing that we should have done. I think the kids really enjoyed having us and them learning about God, and we saw lots of stuff that we didn't actually see in Aledo, and there was a little difference, and we got to paint some houses, and it was really fun. And we finished up a few houses, and just kind of like Mom said, we split it up in groups, and it was really fun, and we had lunch with other people. And I think we really had a great time going to South Dakota. Just to let you know, it took 2 days to travel here to South Dakota. We got to stay in hotels, and it was actually kind of really interesting than I thought it would be.
Well, my experience with it was, it's hard to describe until you're there, but it's one thing to do mission activities. It's another thing to do them with your family. And it's great when you could see, with experience it with your spouse and your kids. And I think that's what was so wonderful about this. You're experiencing God's love, not only through yourself, but through your family. And that's, you don't have those opportunities a lot of times, or maybe we don't take advantage of those opportunities is a better way to put it. And this kind of forces that, because you're right there together, painting houses, doing vacation Bible schools, fellowshipping together, praying together, doing devotions every night together, and it's a unique and great experience that I would hope for any family. The other thing I'd like to say is you'll see some pictures. There's one of the whole group, and Emily is up front with another a little boy, and they're 8, and they were the youngest. And then I think there's a gentleman and his wife, and they're kind of towards the back. He's got a big beard. He kind of looks like Colonel Sanders. We joked with him, but I think they were pushing 80. And it's a unique perspective trying to come together and do God's work when you have that wide range of ages, it's very awesome that you got the energy of the youth and the wisdom of the elders combined with the backs, I guess, of the middle age. And we're hoping and to do to be kind of leads for the church. We're hoping that we can have other families go. We're looking at Duluth, Minnesota next year. They have several, I think there's 4 or 5 multi-generational or family-oriented mission trips. It's a great opportunity. If you've never been on a mission trip, it's relatively safe, it's relatively inexpensive, and you could still serve God, and I think it's great. I would say there's a lot of experiences I can talk about, but I can go on and on. The thing that kind of sums it up, you'll see in a picture here. Before we left, there was Beth and Emily and I, and then there was, I think, 2 boys and 2 girls, little Indian girls. And when they came to the first day of Vacation Bible School, they wouldn't interact, they wouldn't do anything, they kind of stayed off by themselves. They wouldn't even hardly look at you or talk to you. And by the end of the 3 days of Vacation Bible School, you can see they're smiling, they were kind of doing it. And as they were walking out there about a block away, and they yelled out in unison, "I love you," and that shows me that it was God's love that worked through. And it's just you go there to bless, and like happens all the time with God, that He gives you so much more back.